Today, we're diving into Selma Lagerlöf's classic story, The Rattrap. You know, it feels like a fairy tale on the surface, but it's really this deep dive into human nature. It explores whether a person's essential goodness can be awakened just by a little bit of kindness. Let's get into it. The whole story really hinges on this one powerful and kind of dark idea. What if everything we're chasing in life, money, happiness, a nice place to live, what if those aren't rewards? What if they're just bait in a giant trap?
And that right there, that's the worldview of our main character. I mean, this is a guy who has seen the absolute worst of humanity. And this bleak philosophy is basically how he makes sense of his own lonely, difficult life. All right, so let's actually meet the man who sees the world this way and really try to understand the cynical reality that shaped this whole philosophy of his. So our main character is a rat trap peddler. He's poor, he's hungry, and he is totally alone. The world has never been kind to him. So he finds this strange, twisted comfort, this unwanted joy, in imagining everyone else getting caught in the same kind of trap he feels he's stuck in. It's his way of not feeling so alone in all his misery.
Okay, so here's his big theory, and it's actually pretty simple. Think about it. A rat trap uses cheese to lure in a rat, right? Well, he thinks the world does the same thing to us, but with things like riches, joy, and comfort. And the second we take that bait, snap, the trap closes and it's all over. It's a dark thought for sure, but for him, it's a favorite thing to think about.
But here's the kicker. What happens when this guy who sees traps absolutely everywhere comes face to face with the perfect bait? Well, his own theory is about to be put to the ultimate test, and it all starts with a completely unexpected act of kindness. So, one night, he's expecting to get a door slammed in his face, like always. But instead, an old crofter actually welcomes him in. He's offered shelter, food, and even conversation and companionship, things he probably hasn't had in years. This kindness is completely alien to him. And this old crofter, he's just so lonely and happy to have someone to talk to that he proudly shows the peddler the 30 Kronor he made from his cow. And just like that, the bait is laid. The ultimate temptation is just dangling right there in front of him. You'd think after all that kindness he'd walk away, right? Nope. The temptation of that money is just too much. The peddler steals it, and in that moment, he proves his own cynical theory right. He's taken the bait. So he's running, thinking he pulled it off, that he's free and clear. But the second he took that money, the jaws of the trap started to close in on him, and way faster than he ever could have imagined. He tries to escape by running into the forest to cover his tracks, but he gets completely, hopelessly lost. The trees all look the same, and as he's just wandering in circles, it hits him like a ton of bricks. He let himself be fooled. He took the bait, and now he is the one who is caught. Suddenly, the forest isn't just a forest anymore. It becomes the physical version of his own dark theory, a giant, impenetrable prison. He feels like he's never, ever going to get out. He's so full of despair, he just collapses, thinking this is it, this is the end. But right when he's about to give up, he hears something, the sound of an iron mill. He stumbles into the forge, and that's where the story takes another crazy turn. The owner mistakes him for an old army buddy, and the peddler, seeing a chance for maybe a little more, he just plays along, walking right into a whole new kind of trap, one made of his own lies. And this new lie could have been the end for him. But it's right here, in this moment, that he meets the one person who isn't going to offer him more bait. She's going to offer him a real shot at freedom. The Iron Master invites him home, but the peddler's like, no way. But then the Iron Master's daughter, Edla, shows up. And she's different. She isn't pushy or demanding. She's just compassionate. And the way she talks to him, with such real kindness, you can just feel his fear start to melt away. Okay, so fast forward to the next morning. The peddler's all cleaned up and, oops, the truth comes out. The Iron Master is furious that he's been tricked. But Edla's reaction is the complete opposite. She looks past the lie and sees something her father doesn't, a scared, desperate human being. This is really the turning point of the whole story. Edla insists they keep their promise of Christmas cheer. She argues that this man, who has probably spent his entire life being chased away, deserves just one day of peace. It's this incredible act of radical empathy, and it changes absolutely everything.
And her kindness really has a profound effect. The peddler basically just eats and sleeps, finally feeling safe for the first time in who knows how long. He's not a thief or a beggar to them anymore. He's a guest. He's finally being treated with dignity.
So this one day of peace, of being treated like a person, it sets the stage for this really powerful ending. We're about to see the incredible result of Edla's compassion, a complete and total transformation.
The next morning, the family's at church when they hear the news an old crofter's been robbed by a rat trap peddler. Of course, they panic. They race home totally sure their guest has robbed them blind. They get there, the man is gone, but he's left a little package behind for Edla.
So what's inside? Well, it's a small rat trap. And inside of that, she finds the stolen 30 Kronor. And a letter. He hadn't just run off. He had returned what he had stolen.
The letter explains everything. He writes that because Edla treated him like a captain, she gave him the power to act like one. Her respect gave him the strength to clear his own conscience and finally escape the rat trap of his own making. And the proof of his transformation is right there in this signature. He doesn't sign as some nameless peddler. He signs it Captain von Stahl, the honorable man she saw in him, the man he has now finally become.
So the rat trap leaves us with this really powerful question, doesn't it? The story suggests that while the world can feel like a trap of greed and isolation, a single act of genuine kindness can do more than just help someone escape. It can give them the power to transform themselves from the inside out.